And welcome to the December City Council public hearing. The meeting will come to order and the clerk will call the roll, please.
Councilmember Evans.
Present.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Harris. I see her. Councilmember Lupian. Councilmember Melendez.
Here.
Councilmember Patterson.
I'm here.
Councilmember Pio.
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot.
Present.
President Scott.
Here. Again, thank you all for joining us for tonight's public hearing. The hearings will be broadcast live on our YouTube channel and linked on our Facebook page, as well as on the City Channel 12. In an effort to provide individuals with increased access, we've provided the public with two ways to participate in our public hearings tonight. Anyone is able to send comments in writing via mail or directly to council email. We will now begin the public hearings.
Pursuant to law, public hearing will now be had on the following matter: amending the zoning code and map to delete 6 expired U-R urban renewal districts, introductory number 405. Any person desiring to speak in reference to said matter will now be heard.
We didn't receive any speakers for that item.
There being no speakers, that hearing is closed.
Pursuant to law, public hearing will now be had on the following matter: amending the Consolidated Community Development Plan 2019-20 Annual Action Plan, authorizing submittal of a plan and entering into agreements and appropriating funds in relation to a third award of Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus Funds. Introductory number 406. Any person desiring to speak in reference to said matter will now be heard.
We have one speaker, Van Smith. I wanted to register to attend the meeting of providing input regarding the CARES Act funding.
The next speaker, Rob Gregoire. A large percentage of this money should be going to small businesses that are about to shut down. Neighborhood restaurants, local theaters will not survive without help. Orange zone restrictions and curfews have dealt a significant blow to these types of establishments and put those who work there into dire straits. Please consider using the money in this way.
Bruce Mellon, on behalf of the Upper Mount Hope Neighborhood Association, I am wanting to make sure proper consideration is being made in the Consolidated Community Development Plan 2020-2021 Annual Action Plan, if not sooner, in the 2019-2020 amendment on a few things listed further below. We look forward to your response to each of our comments. Realize that the vast majority of our area falls within the lower mod census block criteria. Please also provide information on the comments process and timeframes regarding the anticipated 2020-2021 Annual Action Plan. We are once again requesting a part-time street liaison to both facilitate the reestablishment of the business association in the area south of Highland Park and east of the river, and facilitate monthly collaborative meetings to assure the collaborative relationships are working. The business corridors and transportation corridors, as well as the mixed-use institutional campus and regional commercial character areas within our area, need to be included within the liaison scope. A, the local BA fell apart sometime in 2019 or earlier. B, the Mount Hope Task Force, a collaboration between the UMHNA and BA and U of R, stopped meeting in early 2020 when the person from NBD that facilitated the meetings formally retired. The Southeast Area Coalition was to step in to fill the facilitation void, but never did. UMHNA does not have the resources, assets to rebuild the BA and bring them to the collaborative table. C, the 2019-2020 Consolidated Annual Action Plan Street Liaison Project claims to be citywide, but to date has excluded the area south of Elmwood Avenue, east of the river. The liaison, according to the program description, is to function as a liaison between the City of Rochester Business Development Team, Neighborhood Service Center Administrator, and neighborhood businesses, provide detailed reports of business activities and concerns faced by businesses to City of Rochester staff, work collaboratively with business associations, neighborhood groups, residents, and City of Rochester staff to attract and populate business corridors with products and services that meet the consumer needs of the local and greater community. D, with the city dropping the MHTF, there is no longer a business organization to partner, provide input to the to the PMP 1A strategy within the Rochester 2034 plan.
That's time.
Sorry. The next speaker is Liz McGriff, and she states, I would like to be a part of the process.
Next comment is from Patricia Canty. We senior citizens who own property in the city need help, especially the ones with mortgages and pay utilities for our tenants. We are losing big time. Only some, by the grace of God, have their head above water. We need grant money now. I have been blessed with less devastation than most, only because a few of my tenants that owed moved empty space for drug fiends to occupy without permission. I am afraid to rent now, which leaves me carrying the ball with RG&E, water, repairs, upkeep, etc. Help.
The next is Kenny Canan. The Northeast neighborhood community participated in developing a development plan to meet the needs of our neighbors in the Northeast area of the city. The plan consisted of many of the both desires and needs of our area. We urged the city to use this document, which we had spent both energy, commitment, and time to ensure our voice was not just heard, but was included in all decision-making. When the city master plan began, we pushed hard to advocate that our plans stand as the specific goals of the master plan, rather than developing a separate one, as we felt the one we did could serve to meet the needs as we saw them. The proposal to follow our HUD funds is consistent and imaginative in meeting the intent of that effort. Our proposal. We recognize that a house or housing is not the real target, but supporting homes is. Our neighborhood has houses that are 100 years old, as are many in Rochester. While they were built to be very sturdy, nothing lasts 100 years without wear and tear. We have been told that 40 of the housing, primarily in this low income area, has defined repairs, but little wealth. So what do? There's a former paint decorative store in the area. This store is on a major corner and has a lot of space. It is only being used partially at the present. Any older manufacturing buildings in the area could serve to be the location to meet the needs for repairing the single homes. Our plan would be to use such spaces to develop cooperatives to do a range of repairs that are desperately needed. The repairs could include the many small and middle range of repair tasks that require workers who could do this. There is a range of needs, from helping elder neighbors with not only repairs, but moving heavy items, which they cannot do often. Some of the furnishing no longer needed could be also recycled rather than being thrown away. The current businesses that sometimes do these activities function on a national level and recently have been questioned as to some of their practices. A co-op with workers who have the skills and other who could learn the skills would operate the co-op as a self-directed collaborative. There could also be legal services related to housing and repairs to avoid the dishonest person who can take advantage of neighbors. In addition, we recently learned that the Landmark Society had begun a learning opportunity being done at Geneseo to begin to teach those interested in doing construction and repair skills. One of the most appealing factors is that the co-op model would be a part of the neighborhood and be located in it.
That's
The
it.
neighbors,
Next comment is from Angela Rollins on behalf of Rochester Monroe Anti-Poverty Initiative. Community engagement findings, COVID-19 concerns. The COVID-19 outbreak is one of the most significant trials our community has ever faced, and those living in poverty disproportionately feel its effects. Since March, our MAPI has gathered feedback on the needs of our community. You can view our findings at rockrespondrmapi.com/report. Respondents indicated key challenges they were experiencing and suggestions for how to alleviate their concerns. One of the most consistent messages was that people need direct income now to maintain stability and keep their families healthy and safe. Income going directly to people would alleviate concern around evictions or foreclosure, help with car payments, childcare costs, food, essential cleaning supplies, PPE, etc. All of the basic needs people need to maintain stability in their lives. Our MAPI would like to lift the concerns and suggestions provided by community members experiencing poverty and request that CARES Act COVID relief funding prioritize households in or near poverty and get resources and relief to them as directly as possible. Responded suggestions for increasing income. Pay raises from employers, including hazard pay and raises for low-income workers, supplemental income, government relief to stabilize shifting wages and severely limited budgets, support finding employment for those who lost their jobs or those who were already unemployed before the pandemic, enabling sustainable employment through living wages, tracks to promotion, on the job training for better paying positions, and prioritizing professional development, financial empowerment efforts to increase savings and access credit, support small business revenue through loans and grants, responded suggestions for supporting household expenses, relief for general expenses such as offering grace periods or payment plans on overdue bills, expanded benefits and public assistance by creating more flexibility with eligibility requirements, subsidizing food, increasing SNAP benefits, offering affordable delivery services, and providing safer food pantry options, subsidizing COVID-19 supplies such as masks, cleaning items, and other PPE, offering virtual, affordable mental health services, including special services for children, offering more accessible at-home or delivered medical care at an affordable price, wider availability and better affordability of childcare for essential workers and remote workers, housing subsidies and relief
That's
from
time.
rent.
Pursuant to law, oh, I'm sorry, no more speakers on that one?
No more speakers.
There being no more speakers, that hearing is closed.
Pursuant to law, public hearing will now be had on the following matter: authorizing geometric changes relating to the Main Street Streetscape Phase 2 project. Introductory number 420. Any persons desiring to speak in reference to said matter will now be heard.
no speakers or comments on that item.
There being no speakers, that hearing is closed. So that does conclude our public hearings. The legislation from these hearings will be voted on at our City Council meeting on December 15th at 7:30 p.m. It'll be streamed live on our YouTube channel and linked on our Facebook page, as well as City Channel 12. Thank you all for attending. We are adjourned.